In today's episode, I want all our DLs to be internal use only. Short story about one of my favorite users. MX lookup failed. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I want all our DLs to be internal use only. Hi TFTS, been a while since I've posted, but have enjoyed reading all your adventures as always. A recent post by /BlakeBlack9 just reminded me about this ticket from last week. One of our clients started getting quite a bit of spam recently, more so than usual, but luckily the really bad type of spam, so it's really obvious even to the more not tech literate staff. The really bad thing, however, is that the spam wasn't going to individual users, but to their distribution lists. They have quite a few, most are internal use only, but some need to receive outside reports. One such DL they have is an all staff where every other DL is added. For whatever historical reasons, this was not set to be internal only from the start. I blame my old colleague for that, and also the client who probably agreed to leave it as such. They didn't really have a proper CTO back then and was a bit hectic. So you can imagine when one phishing email suddenly goes to over 500 users is a bad thing. Cue the actual dialogue. I get a ticket from Big Boss Man's $PA to let us know of the email. I proceed with my usual search and purge from the portal and then ask $me, hey $PA, do you guys really need this all staff to be open to public? It would be much safer to make this internal use only. Now I don't get a reply for 5 days, the week passes and next week a ticket comes in, follow up to original. $PA, hey $IT_helpdesk, I have spoken with $CEO, please make all our distribution lists internal only. Now, like I said before, most DLs already are private, but some absolutely need to be public for very important results and reports from third parties. One specific DL belonging to a certain big money-making department would be devastated if even one of their results doesn't come through, and they deal with about 30 to 50 a minute. The catch, I was on lunch and one of our newer colleagues picked this up. In terms of the task required, he definitely has the knowledge and access to do it. But as always, it's not that cut and dry. By pure chance, I'm coming back in the office and passing by my new colleague and see the ticket he's dealing with, and to bring him a coffee. I felt generous that day and got the office a coffee from the nice place on the corner. Lo and behold, I nearly dropped the tray and shouted stop. Poor guy flinched like I was gonna throw the coffee on his crotch. He had just started making the DLs private and was just about to do the very important Department 1. Phew, you have no idea how I went from being chilly coming from outside to sweating like a Finn in a sauna. I apologized to my guy for shouting and explained what he was just about to do. Cue his face going pale degree_degree. I asked him if he didn't mind assigning the ticket to me as I was dealing with it last week, and I can put him on as a follower. So now to reply. $me, $PA, are you sure about that? Department X would literally implode, and $Manager there would not only chew my head off but $CEOs too, and you know he will. It would mean pound lost in profits for just a few minutes of lost emails alone. 2 minutes later. $PA, hold on a minute, let me check with $CEO and $Manager. 10 minutes later. I get a reply from CTO in the ticket chain. $CTO, hey $me, ignore that please. Make all staff private for now, as well as DLX and Y, those don't get anything external. Please leave A, B and C public and put a note to say they are to never be made private lest we don't want to get paid that month. This wasn't meant as a threat, she meant it as the loss of profits would cripple them a bit kind of joke. I personally know CTO, and she has a good sense of humor along with a good head on her shoulders. And so I do, and make the description say that on the DL. If you make this DL private, we don't get paid by client. Hopefully this will help the future generations at the company not make the mistake my colleague was about to. That's it for now. I've got quite a few more interesting ones I'm hoping to find time this weekend to format, and remember, but also starting a new job next week, so I look forward to amusing you with stories from there at some point. Short story about one of my favorite users. Hi everyone. Here is a short tale from one of my favorite users, referred to as Carl from here onwards, not their name. As a quick background, I do tech support for a software. Carl, one of the clients, was trying to use the software to replicate the results of a journal publication using two different workflows. Think of it as a validation study. However, Carl ran into difficulties at one point and dropped me a message. It's been a while, but here is how the conversation roughly went. Carl, hi, I'm trying to use two different workflows to achieve the results from. By using I am getting almost perfect results, but with the results are vastly different. Could something be acting up? Me, hi Carl, this is OP, thanks for reporting, I will have a look if I can find something unusual. At this point, I remote in to see what was happening, since I would not expect major accuracy differences between the two workflows. Not as much as Carl was reporting, anyway. After spending a couple of minutes comparing the configurations from both workflows, I noticed that Carl has 3 settings that are different. I decide to get more information. Me, just to make sure, are you looking to analyze the same scenario with both workflows, or are you looking at 2 different scenarios? Carl, I am looking to analyze the same scenario and obtain the same results in this exercise. For some reason, Carl mixed settings from another project that they were running into the second workflow, which caused the results to be unexpected. After informing him of that, Carl goes, oops, sorry if asterisk kept up. I must have mixed settings from a different project, thanks for spotting that. Have a nice evening. The entire interaction took less than 10 minutes. Carl never fails to be courteous/helpful, and it always puts a smile on my face when I see them around. MX lookup failed. A certain first-line tech in my org is known for being a chatterbox, but not so hot technically. They get on great with customers and do plenty of work, which more than makes up for it. One day an email he'd sent to his wife was returned as undeliverable. They still used an address with a long-defunct ISP. Back in the day, this ISP gave each customer their own subdomain, resulting in an entire families having addresses like firstname@lastname.isp.com. In typical fashion, his ticket contained plenty useful info, but you had to read through 3 paragraphs to find it. I've been able to send my wife mail for years without issue. I hope they aren't finally killing off my old ISP. Is there something wrong with DNS? Are you blocking personal mail now? I read over the info in the undeliverable notification he'd forwarded on, stared in disbelief for a moment, then drafted my very short response. It looks like you have spelled your own last name wrong in the to box.